Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another bad movie review. Today we're discussing the 2015 masterpiece, Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre. Coming in at about 83 minutes, this unrated movie focuses really on the hazards of fracking. Yep, that's right. Fracking explosions unleash prehistoric sharks from an underground ocean. Things get crazy when an escape attempt from a women's prison work detail collides head-on with the sharks. That's pretty much the entire plot. Then there's a bunch of whining. Pretty shallow movie, honestly. But it's a lot of fun. I was actually pretty impressed with this. There was some decent acting. Traci Lords is in this, so is Dominique Swain. You may remember Dominique Swain from the 1997 film Lolita, where she played Lolita. I thought her acting was a little over the top, actually. But considering this is a B movie, I've seen worse. But I have a feeling that she was just kind of going through the motions. Let's see, who else we got here? As far as actors go, Serafin Falcon, he was pretty good as Mike. He could have been in the movie longer, in my opinion. I thought he was actually pretty talented. Christina Nguyen from Vigilante Diaries and Bikini Jones in the Temple of Eros, Bitch Slap, and College Coeds versus Zombie Housewives. That one I will be reviewing shortly. She was actually a standout performer in this. I think she's got a lot of talent potential. And it's not just because she's hot. It's because I think she's actually a pretty good actress. And Amy Holt was the other standout. She was in Dino Croc vs. Super Gator, who also had the guy that played Carl, John Callahan. He was in that movie as well as this one. He also played Craig Hunt on Santa Barbara, the soap opera. And he was in Dino Croc vs. Super Gator, like I said. So, Amy Holt and Christina Nguyen really stood out in this one. John Callahan was pretty good, and Serafin Falcon was pretty good too. Traci Lords is always a solid actress, in my opinion. And it's nice to see her work, and I'm a big fan of hers. Not just her naked movies. I think she's actually pretty underrated. But it was nice seeing a decent cast of solid B-movie actors. I think Christina Nguyen and Amy Holt have potential to actually break through into so-called A-list movies, which would be a little disappointing for all of us B-movie fans. But hey, good for them, right? Now, this movie was not what you would expect. It didn't have a massively high body count, and you could tell there were a lot of budgetary restrictions on this. But what they had to work with was actually pretty good product. They came out better than most movies of this magnitude. Most of the movies that are like sci-fi TV movie level, they're pretty terrible. But this one, the special effects may not have been top notch, but they weren't bad. The scenes with the body parts and stuff, it was obviously fake, but it was much more professional, I want to say. The matting, the overlays were good. The shark ripples, the water breaking from the fin looked good. The shark, you could tell, was CGI, but it was still cleaner and better than most CGI for low budget films. So good job to the crew on that one and the CGI team. And I thought the interactions looked good. The green screen effects for the driving were good. Overall, a pretty decently put together movie. I was kind of impressed by that. I expected it to be really horrible, but this was just a fun B movie. It was campy, it was silly, there wasn't any nudity, which, gotta admit, was pretty disappointing. But overall, I thought they did a lot of good work with it. There were a few scenes that I didn't like. The guns were clearly fake. They looked like airsoft guns. I'm talking about the assault rifles more than the pistols. The pistols looked okay, but the assault rifles and what I think were supposed to be Tech 9s, they looked really fake. You could even see when Christina Nguyen's character holds up a gun when they first find the rifles, you can see the front of the pistol where there's no chamber or no rifling. It clearly is a fake gun. And the Shannon and Josh love story was incredibly forced and weak. I don't know what the obsession with that is. Just have an action movie. Otherwise, there was a goof I found. When the boat is sent back to pick up the last two women on the shore in the underground cave, the ore is still on shore. Say that sentence 3 times fast. But when the boat arrives back to Honey and the blonde girl whose name I forget now, the ore is in the boat. And it was really left on shore when the boat was sent back. So, minor goof, but some people are into that. There were a lot of movie references, and I have to say, I really thought the movie was pretty well written. I expected it to be nonsensical, gore, violence, splatterfest, but the gore level wasn't that bad. I thought it was smartly filmed, well written, especially for the budget they had to work with. There's not a whole lot of resolution, so I think they could do a sequel to this, and I think the sequel should take place in the jail, because these were land sharks. They could go through the muck and ground of the Arkansas bayou. So I think it should have been in the prison and then watch the prisoners try and fight off the shark. I think that would make a really cool sequel, but they would need a much bigger budget. As it is, they did a good job with this one. It had a pretty decent story. It's not a big splatterfest. It's actually a little bit story-driven. And you don't actually see the sharks a whole lot because I think they didn't have the budget for it. But all around, I don't feel like I wasted my time. I actually recommend this one. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was just a good, fun film with some really beautiful women and some decent acting talent, which, gotta say, I was really impressed with. I thought this would just be a complete disaster, but I thought it was a fun B-movie. With a great title. I gotta admit, I've been waiting to review this one for a while, and it's been sitting on the stack staring at me, and there's something about combining these two unlikely genres that really kind of made me just grab it off the shelf and buy it. And it was worth every penny I paid. But it did suffer from a distinct lack of nudity. But overall, they had a really sharp cast. It was tightly written, like I said, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I think they did a real good job for the budget they had, and they had some decent talent. So I hope to see a sequel, and I hope to see more from a lot of these same people. So we're going to end it there, and if you get a chance, check this one out. I think it might be fun for you, and if you don't like it, well, there's no accounting for taste. Thanks for listening. Be sure and check out some of my other reviews, and let me know what you think in the comments section. Thanks for listening.